na yetimi aboma bibia etimi akoye etimi nche krampo no mede ensem na poso aba beto anim ye be hye ase ne didi nkomo kama se na be ya ososo no obetimi enya bibi edi free because any show no is fully packed the content is here and then we are about to serve you with one of the hottest issues are also currently within our sector. Now producer Yambo video way Mr. Haruna Ijuso, Minister of Education. Now what did he come enra about no person or faso now o change category schools to category B schools. No also the from B schools now category A schools. Now sa in common no I was very happy because this is what I wanted to hear from the Ministry of Education, how they would transform and make sure say all other schools within our limit will try as much as possible to match up equal to the already made schools say you need more than no sinebeya ebema impunto abaye education system no odin komobi atodwa me pese okona ko he video me ba na me de munchire mu madomu so ko de ho analysis no etimi dia bro tisai ready yambo
and blessing is to convert at least 10 category schools to category B schools, then convert 10 category B schools to category A schools, and that will be backing it with infrastructure, with available classroom blocks, dormitories for students, and quality improvement by way of improved teaching, and then learning materials and learning aids.
Allegations of bribery have cast a shadow over this year's self-placement system, with claims that some parents or students paid money to secure admissions to their school of choice. The minister revealed that more than 3 people have been arrested by national security, as investigations so far indicates no evidence to support these claims.
We have a very robust cyber security system which is able to monitor and police fraudulent activities associated with the placement. A few weeks back, we got national security and blessing is to convert at least 10 category schools to category B schools, then convert 10 category B schools to category A schools, and that will be backing it with infrastructure, with available classroom blocks, dormitories for students, and quality improvement by way of improved teaching, and then learning materials and learning aids.
Allegations of bribery have cast a shadow over this year's self-placement system, with claims that some parents or students paid money to secure admissions to their school of choice. The minister revealed that more than 3 people have been arrested by national security, as investigations so far indicates no evidence to support these claims.
We have a very robust cyber security system which is able to monitor and police fraudulent activities associated with the placement. A few weeks back,
it's winning summer the minister Eddie Etudra. Now, in fact, my catch was maintaining seminar, I overwhelmed. I was indeed overwhelmed. I'm not supporting what he said, but then I was overwhelmed. You see, when it comes to the education status that we are trying to build in our country, it shouldn't be played as politics. And I said it shouldn't be in someone's personal interest. Said because of this is the new rendition of our education system, and then Nipa or this age medianum NPP so I wouldn't support it. Nipa na this age median NDC so I wouldn't support it. We are talking about education. We are talking about the population that we have in our country. Emu ankasa, the base of our population is in children and the youth that we have. That is why I think the population that we have currently is a youthful population. So everything especially with education, it is very important, and it plays majority role when we want to come out from a developing country to a developed country. It's another than Akufo-Addo Shase. So or the free SHS eba, not the motive or the free SHS ne say or pese obua na majority of Ghanaians, the majority of the youth that we have in our country, and was say omu modern one so omu additional ecoson. I supported that particular idea, that policy. In 2015, when John Dramani Mahama told the why say I was all the progressively free SHS policy, but after say onobe having that notion say obetria day students fees at their moment, I had that kind of motion say it was a good idea for John Dramani Mahama. But there is a new thing about. Under the NPP, we saw the change of curriculum, we saw the change of system. A boy, a doctor, or say we to chair the man, how he was able to change the narrative around the Ministry of Education, how he was able to bring the foreign system to inculcate with our local system that we have in our country, and it is functioning effectively. Now, one of the key things, me personally, I have noticed, they say, Timbiano, say ye places schools, and I say schools I can see where you in when it comes to SHS. Yewo Prempeh College, yewo Pukuware, yewo Yasantua, name them big schools around the country. Tembia ne kamya ye say ye de nimonyam ne more leaving the category B schools and other category schools yewo in Nkrumah. But we've actually forgotten say see a person level up with St. Joseph Seminary or Noah Asante Mampong. See a person level up with Odiko Boatema Sebi or Nowo Asante Mampong. See a person level up Bosom Cheche Senior High School or Nowo Insute Echiro. Bosom Cheche or no Insute Echiro, Insutamai Ewo Mampong Insute Echiro Honum. These are schools a level in category C schools, category D schools. The entire level almost because of infrastructure and other social amenities are these schools any say make social amenities. I'm not saying say baby asukunu wono and I say impotemu asukunu wono more lack a lot of things. Of course, sometimes the society around the school they may lack some special needs, especially with good and portable roads a bit lead from the main town to then that particular school near or So what I'm trying to say is say when these schools are being filled with basic infrastructure, when these schools are being filled with good learning materials, with good development in the school, it will help that category C schools to be leveled up with the category B schools. It do the check it say John Ajokum Kufo SHS or Pakoso. President J. Kufo SHS or Pakoso. Ko school mwana ko check the infrastructure. Check school no. The learning materials, check the source of materials are available to the school currently as we speak. When we are school more, now we check the teachers some more. Now we send your musi running school now. Ubetima running and I say Obako say school now to Akrabiko Prempeh College. You are being filled. Wakuma beto yem because the school no the way I'm school the way school no a lot of incentives It can also be compared with some of these grade A schools because of infrastructure and basic amenities. A school mohonum. Intiene enkoyeding. Say Ministry of Education and the two of say baby Ghana ekika kono. Baby the free SHS ye dia bano. Say person free SHS no emuye du ne enkoye say we are talking about the quantity of students that will graduate yearly. Most of these senior high schools say if you are talking about the quantity there, then I'm here to tell you say with the past 8 years under the Danko Akufo-Addo, a lot of youth, especially 5 million youth and 18 year graduating from the senior high school are benefited from the SHS, the free that we have. Yes, 5 million Ghanaians, especially 5 million youths, and are benefited from the past 8 years in a free SHS policy. But we don't want the numbers to dictate for itself. Numbers need dictate, then we talk about the quality of the 5 million. And as some microphone move free SHS, aqua tertiary institution, how quality are they? So because of quality, I'm not saying it's only a product, but I'm talking about how equipped are they when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to other things a bit me abwa. Ama sebi nkwadano and I say imebuno and so timi afọ omotuma pebidi aden edi efra It's in common ye didn't common kwakuti say the Minister of Education Haruna Ijusu etima make this particular press. Naso odin in common say or he baby a Ghana in suku seminar AC ko or he the way or no edia to no so together with John Dramani Mahama government said the free senior high school policy no omu betwem because they started with a progressively free senior high school. If they have to come by it and stand with another go for other policy, then they will ensure say they will also invest in some of the schools and maintaining and I say I'm bringing out the quality of these students and with penetrating into a tertiary institution. That's what we are talking about, and that's the government. I was here come once. It's in common air cosono. In common Mr. Haruna Ijusu edi chairman no, and I said odi edit share some of the people, and I said odi the share in Central Phone. I was happy with it. Any the biya nebeka say presec Legon. Any the biya nebeka say Achimota. Any the biya nebeka say Adisa Dao. Any the biya nebeka say Infancy Pim. Any the biya nebeka say Wesley Girls. There be sometimes the category D schools should have a basic infrastructures. So they be me match it up with the Prempeh College, with the Pukuwari, with the Yasantua, with the Wesley Girls, with the St. Louis, a lot of schools. Sometimes the category D schools should also leveled up with the category A schools. Send the beya yimpuntu na you to them so akure be college or na biyamano. The kwaito. Because I too, yes, in your grades, Papa, because I too, but so quick mono, then but it's not penetrating. That tells you, say, when you give such schools infrastructure, when you give such schools basic community, they can produce quality students. I tell you, in the next 10 years to come, so policy Mr. Haruna Ijusu Eka Hwasam say Otimi. So to me, live up to expectation. The Prempeh College, the Presec Legon, and the Keta SHS, the voter region, the OT region. No, we are going to see some of the schools that be competing with them when it comes to national science and math quiz. I tell you, when the Ministry of Education gives them the right and the resourceful person, I'm talking about good and qualified teachers. Oh my being. These schools will match up with Prempeh College. These schools will match up with Presec. These schools will match up with Achimota, Infancy Pim, and other big schools that we have in our country. And they will start to produce good talent that we have. And I believe that this policy is one of the policies I was saying about Mr. Haruna Ijusu Abaso. I love him and I love how Usi Edini Juma Ewo Ehonum. Producer, young come next story we need to come on. Also, one second now. Young come next story we need to come on. Now, Mame. Mr. Osesibe, any gifty or war picture ni Indian komo. I 70 fee, but asem abefi. I 70 fee, but asem etimi abefi. Na Mr. Osesibe now oye the National Service Authority boss under the NPP government. And Obano done in channel. I'm talking about Mr. Osesibe na left now. And sebi ye maame ya no ho fefefo no so dan nchen no e gifty or worry ono so eda nchen kama edema wa ohwem ne baby a ohwem bibia edi free. Now according to Attorney General report in semibri ba ho eba wo ho when it comes to the NSA saga because of say Dominic Ayene is the Attorney General, and about 7 months ago he came out to say there has been a particular fraud scandal be hit the NSA office. That was in the past 8 years. There has been one particular scandal hit the office of the NSA concerning Mr. Osesibe and then Gifty or Worry. And the only thing that hit was say 654 million Ghana cedis fraud be within that particular office. And they needed to actually probe an investigation into that particular matter. And producer, Mami, the next article, na me read the farmer yetie for no montia entin common media na see. Now say ocean the article na that's now I say the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice has filed criminal charges against the former executive director of the National Service Authority, Mr. Osesibe Entry, and the former deputy executive director, Gifty Oware Mensah, over their alleged roles in a scheme that defrauded the state of about 653 million Ghana cedis. Abranti bombe 653 million Ghana converted Fabra old currency mam needing come 1 million Ghana cedis be old currencies 10 billion. Scanner nodding. So according to the Attorney General, now Mr. Osesibe any gifty or warrior on your deputy executive director Edmund NSA, what they are talking about, they say these two people have defrauded the state with about 653 million Ghana cedis currently as you speak. Now say me to also read it at the chair or say according to the court document found at Accra High Court, the two are accused of orchestrating separate but related fraudulent schemes that involved ghost names on the national service payroll and the bank and fake bank loan transactions. It in common in an say some crofom anyway or says to be any giftee or warrior on your deputy executive director. No, they've actually defrauded the state of about 653 million Ghana cedis, and then omo use ghost names, meaning say they pretended as if say names no more created within the NSA National Service Authority National Service Scheme. So no, they pretend to say it was live names, but then ni pa omuye real omuye jumama Ghana buying echi omoka. Into omu created separate schemes, separate ghost names, but then not san no was related to one particular account, bank account. Our we use that same bank account no edit your more transactions. Now some to also read the actual or say CB entry faces 14 charges, including causing financial loss to the state, stealing and money laundering. So Mr. Ose SCB entry, the main director of NSA now you don't picture to no. Right now as you speak, Dominic Ayeno no yet Attorney General etima charge Mr. Ose SCB entry with 14 charges. Obuhwehwe ni nsem no omode nsem maku to 14 charges and abo ni 3 so say 14 charges no omode court nti ombra no me ni ho ano together with gifty or say or worry now o share 14 charges no the edi muntinti man pa na one causing financial loss to the state. And then some Dominic Ayeno no ye Attorney General omode report omode aba bonten a omo kan edifa Mr. Osei SCB ehom not only causing financial loss to the state but then stealing and also money laundering. Bro for can say o nyezo enti obose causing financial loss meaning say wa bo o mine car because o mine shame no 653 million Ghana cedis produce am a train of figure no 653 million Ghana cedis. And now Mr. Osibe any gift or sell worry. Etimi abo abino eka currently as we speak. Apart from that, was also my stealing any money laundering as also on as I don't grass cover. Now, producer Sir Wally, the next one that can find my here for currently as we speak. Now, he is alleged to have authorized the payment of allowances. He is alleged. I'm talking about Mr. Osei SCB entry who has some Americano. He is alleged to have authorized the payment of allowances to over 60,000 non-existent national service personnel. So in common they say Mr. Osei SCB entry no make sure say o create accounts. Producers what in common need do it na say o create accounts at the national service scheme close to about 60,000 nipa maku 60,000 some maku 60. And Mr. Osibe entry a create it was believed say say nipa na wa create account their mom they were part of the national service over the past 8 years. Enti Attorney General in 60,000 no enye proper names and as enye life accounts. It was ghost names, meaning say in some course so 60,000 was non-existent national service personnel. Now and then the national service force ka amount is 715. It is 715 any omoka currently as you speak. It is times 715 times 60,000 no. For the past 8 years. You get the exact figure that I'm talking about. So that tells you, say, Mr. Osei be entry, and then Gifty Osei or Warren now or Muti Isel Jumedino. They were able to create 60,000 non-existent national service personnel causing financial loss to the states. Close to about 500,861 to the states. So, we check 60,000 now, and who report na patromidi hun commodity no. So, and some Attorney General aiding common. Men, I'm not saying so much. This is the report that I'm reading to the public. And I am not sitting here and saying, say, what the Attorney General is saying, it is true. I'm reading a report out of Wankasa Probe investigation, and upon investigation now, this is the come out and this is the findings of Wankasa investigation, and they are saying, set charges on Modiabo Mr. Osei entry 14 charges, but then with the headline, I say, with one of the charges are aiding hini, 14 charges, causing financial loss to the states, money laundering and stealing. And with the stealing, the money laundering, and causing financial loss to the state, Omu created 60,000 ghost names within the national service payroll in the last 8 years. So that's it. Now, producer may train figure. Now, say, check here. Producer Rolly, the next one, now, when you roll the next one, you understand where I am coming from. Now, also in addition, he is accused of stealing 8.26 million Ghana cedis between 2023 and May 2024. So, from August 2023 and May 2024 last year, the Attorney General accused the former NSA boss, Mr. Osei entry, said, Oya Mamenkansa Ostili 8.26 million Ghana cedis between 2023 to 2024, and withdrawing over 106 million Ghana cedis from NSA Kumewu Farm project account without investing any of it in the project. Now, let me put it on record. Say NSA ever project omoye. And project normally said they try as much as possible to make sure say these projects are the government mark one last in the last 8 years. One of the projects now government mark one was the planting for food and jobs. So with that, the NSA had it put it upon themselves, say they will create a particular account and they will create a project a bit ama planting for food and jobs. No, etimi abuama Ghana etimi afa imebunu bebre. No many now that farm project now a year or more a project at NSA 4 years or be account Kumewu Bank. Now Papa friend said Osei be equisika 106 million Ghana cedis from the Kumewu Farm project account. Okoyi says no one fine investing into the project American one planting for food and jobs. Any near me was say NSA 4 a year Emma in Mebunu bi. Enye husika na even NSA no timi nya ehon faso na mo san so de koto omo bank account mo Mr. Osei be entry and this adwumedie no ho ye. Now okay, so sika na daso no a producer sika enye izo IT personnel for monthly me now, check here 35,770,000. Yeah, 750,000. So from 715, from 715, the 715 is the monthly salary of the NSS personnel, and I mean that time say 60,000. So by the time is 60,000 currently as we speak. Now by the time 60,000 no. So we check this car the NSA inyaya. Oh. Yeah. So what check here is close to about 45 million Ghana cedis assembly. I mean you do hun komono. Oh there so producer Adam Mentos rolly the already article na make kind wa hanom no investigation na ni komo. Now investigators says he transferred 8.6 million into the personal accounts. Investigators say he transferred 8.26 million Ghana cedis into his personal Eastwich account, knowing the funds were proceeds of crime. The total value of the offenses attributed to him stands approximately at 615,117,744. Very huge. Now, some kind the second paragraph on this particular article, Eddie Achewa. According to investigators, according to the Auditor General report, any Attorney General reporter, Mr. Osibe entry, almost say, or the Sika 8.26 million Ghana cedis, to on a personal Eastwich account. Obiane menso be ya adwen say oh ye NSA and I say oh ye National Service personnel ye ma okobie Eastwich account. Producers okobie bi. Yeah. Eastwich account into no personal Eastwich account no okobie here no and only sika 8.26 million Ghana cedis ekoto so wo check 8.26 Ghana cedis na ekekako old currency 80 billion you know the koto no personal account Eastwich account. Now according to Attorney General also say wo check the total value of offenses Mr. Osibe entry etimi accumulate here. We're getting close to about 650,177,744, which is very huge and which is very big. Now, let me read the fourth and that's the third paragraph. Emma, also meanwhile, Gifty Oware Mensah has been charged with 5 counts. So Mr. Says be entry diano 14 counts. Gifty Oware Mensah diano 5 counts, including stealing willfully, causing financial loss to the state, using public office for profit and money laundering. Itono diano has been charged with 5 accounts: stealing willfully, causing financial loss to the state, using public office for profit and money laundering. Itono diano enso different from Papa, your friend Mr. Osei SCB entry. Now, as head of NSA Finance and Procurement Department, she allegedly created fake company Blocks of Life Consorts to generate a list of 9.934 ghost names from NSA database. It is our check in some Attorney General Kandiafa Gifty Oware Ehwa. Almost say Gifty Oware or creative fake company in the name of Blocks of Life Consorts are ultimately generating 9.934 ghost names. So 9,934 ghost names. It's Blocks of Life Consorts, no, or creates a company or Mwankasa and initiating National Service personnel more. So National Service personnel in the last 8 years, Omako Blocks of Life Consort, Akwakoye Jumano, close to about 9,934. But Omuno 9,934 no enye correct names and also omunya live names. Then you ghost names. Names be on my exist in the books of Blocks Life Consort. Now omuye investigation, you know. Blocks of Life Consort no also belonging to Gifty Oware Mensah, which that company also doesn't exist. The company also doesn't exist. It's all checking edits for database anymore. These particular ghost names were referrals from Blocks of Life Consorts, which is very, very serious over here. Now, so we'll check the reporter Medebema in the next row. Medebema, there is the exact report, and there is the Attorney General and the reporter all facilitating Ediako court currently as we speak. Yes. And they call court currently as we speak, and it is going to become a rumble fight court between right now as we speak Gifty Oware Mensah and then Mr. Osibe entry. And so right now Gifty Oware Mensah and Mr. Osibe entry, the NSA bosses no a defendant. They need to go to the court and defend themselves with good lawyers. Now I'm making sure say they will process everything in that particular manner. Assembly a could court in some it means can once about the report. I have to explain the report for you to also understand what entails in what we are talking about. So that's the story between Osesi Bentry and Gifty Oware Mensa. Now, producer, yanko your next topic ni ndi nkomo. Ene aseme hwan ya on producer. Yes, on point. On point. It just say it in one acheche mu kakrakra. On point. Now, producer, the videos bo video ni mame. The Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Mama Jane, etimi kosra Lake Volta victims, 16 patients, umitimi hiro monkwa, Lake Volta, kete krache, impeswa na so kakra, okoye no, one Mr. Okujitua Blakwa, etimi ekupi oho, because ehono so ye Mr. Okujitua Blakwa and impeswa so, afin so no, the MCE of that particular district, kete krache, Mr. Opare Ado, on no ekudi nkomo, na was senka many Mr. Opare Ado di nkomo, but menya no. Producer say video na ready a bomame ni enti nkomo okudi wo ho no
hemfa enye da na ebeba say ene na ye campaign na e de anwom ne asa ne ade samde na mom na esi ebisa en ho say anamon ba na yebetu enti na say ye ba na ye behwe say baby asam na esi no kra e wo hemfa enye da na ebeba say ene na ye campaign ne de anwom ne asa ne ade eno mere wo ho na mom wo ye no wi a nipa na wo no omo ekekere man no so no oha ben no omwom amane ben na aba enti e ba ya we de ntoma bebo mo de ano na enyina ya bebom na ya cheche ye ho awire de esese ye nso ye ene se oha ben na wo na kwan mu ena okwan ben na ye befa so asa oha no ye beyiyi efiri ho nti ebesere mo eno yebetimi aye na ebedi mu no na jesama kan ye ho yenim se mo bakan ye ho so anya enye ya asam de na mom na esi ebisa ye ho se anamon ba na yebetu enti na se ye ba na ye behwe se baby asam na esi no kra e wo hemfa enye da na ye baba se ene na ye campaign na de anwom ne asa ne ade eno mere wo ho na mom wo ye no wi a nipa na wo no omo ekekere man no so no oha ben no omwom amane ben na aba enti e ba ya we de ntoma bebo mo de ano na enyina ya bebom na ya cheche ye ho awire de esese ye nso ye ene se oha ben na wo na kwan mu ena kwan ben na ebefa so asa oha no ye beyiyi efiri ho enti e besere mo eno yebetimi aye na ebedi mu no na jesama kan ye ho yenim se bo bakan ye ho so anya enye ya asam de
utie nkomo na ene se bo sorry ene se boss cause someone said that kabenum Mama Jane di nkomo efa ho na meaning say maame na kasa ma na toma koma so because we saw a president producer okay na that don kwaku for the speech okomae ewo that same place around Volta at the time asem to many flood okay at the time Kosombo dam the booma manfo just a lot of things that happen a flood see wo honum when another dan kwaku for no call honum in someone do kotu dwane say mbokra someone to mame but this woman has showed good maturity. In fact utie ne nsem o kan na o say enye tem bia and as a campaign season draw ye beba ma ha ne ni mabesa se say campaign season etwema wie omo to aba ma me na me omu bu man ne omo de ma de ne hia omo mamna kenyansa semo oso omo to aba de ma me no de ba de na right now ehia omo. This woman has showed maturity and womanhood. So, or a bad time. You see, when it comes to politics, sometimes it's not about idea was young because this woman is a professor. Prof Nana Jane, she is a professor. She was my vice chancellor when I was schooling at the University of Cape Coast. So she is a professor, and what she say, oh, suku nyansa. Eno sanso wo efie nyansa eno ne de bo brama ne yiyi se bi wo suku nyansa na wan fa fie nyansa nka ho a bebi abekobia na ebe expose o Iti ye won krofo bebre won omo nam wiase wo ye nnwuma mu ne ye mfie ene ye society asabi omo fie nyansa no wo form e wo form bebre how to address issues. This is a typical issue. This is a typical hot issue la ato the victims of Ketekrache. Shekwaya, my friend say Mama Jane, the vice president. My friend Mama Jane because she is a professor in school. Na my friend Mama. Ohumia, Mama na my friend no. Shenkoma Mama Jane kodi wo honom. It is quite different from the former and previous administration. The former government onukodi nkomo at the time na some voter otini voter honom ankasa na asema to enkrofo bi wo honom. Kwan Bells no as a former president of Mampenyi kodi ni nkomo wo ho. In fact some komo no kodi na ehia manfo bebre wo ho. Memit na haka say the way of Mampenyi kasa no wan kasa ye. And I know what can be. And as some of the local indigenous people who voted last December election, who voted the NPP out. In fact, Mitie Sankomo, I was very, very, very happy for Mama Jane as the vice president. She spoke so well. Also a buyer, and also attended to the problem to the people of Lake Volta. Na semunima October 11th. And the Makumako system. A far boat will lake in the Somo called the following town. We know says there were a lot of towns a amount for fab boat a war on called the following time. It could be omudwedie ni suku bi faso kwa adwuma bi faso ko suku e bi faso ko trade because honomono a community and that Lake Volta and also no they have a lot of fishermen omuye adwuma e river no so it's also creating and other job opportunities for the people over there but omo lack life jackets. Life jacket as a wolf chain so a show. Say impossible tones when you must win more jarre. Not say in so per se a flower. The life jacket will support you to sustain. But without life jacket, no, so when you win so much jarre, you will easily be drawn into a coil, no, or the 600 life jacket and what presented Ediama or Momuye Juma or Honomono. And also, any 600 life jackets and Guan or the Angwa. Or the amon, or the other basic necessities. Ediama omo asebi asem ato omo no ebusuya. So munji no mo fanche chomore. Owi no sound so the 200,000 Ghana cedis. When I was making the headlines, I said 200 million Ghana cedis. I was sorry for that. It was a mistake. It was 200,000 Ghana cedis. Eno presente edema omo asebi asem ato meni ewo honom no. Na owie no wadi nkomo say although say asama to omo but obe present no make sure the government be follow up no taking care of these kind of victims asama to many no they are conducting the investigation and they will try as much as possible to link the investigation into the work in the future sinebeya sa oyine kesi we ento Ketekrache for nibim. This is what I was expecting. This is what I am expecting. And Ekame said, right now as we speak, Yenra John Dramani Mahama, one of his hallmark is communication. He is an expert of communication and he communicates so well. And Ekame said he has been able to train most of his appointees. When they speak so well. They try as much as possible to convince the ordinary Ghanaian. And I want them to continue. They have 2.5 years they have 2.5 years behind them, that's ahead of them. They need to make sure they stay relevant, they stay consistent with how they treat related issues like this. Because the producer, Metiana Mekacho, Obogu Savior, and Kwadano Mukowu, you know, this government did not pay heed to it. In Kwadano Muko Mountain, Kobom Pio Moboku Savior Church, Omkowu, a producer Akai, Asem Kessia Tuomo. Ewo Accra Kumasi Road. Oman kabibia amfa ho. You see a sound called that way in a way sebina emwa. Apart from that, ena asem kesi sounds to see August. Oyine kesi see August. Dr. Mane Buama ene Alhaji Muntalani Omomaka. Oyine kesi to Ghana. So I think the government now learning something from that kind of incident they see here. Obugu Savior Church, the tragedy you see here, they've learned something from it. And that is what we are talking about. That is what we are talking about. So I think Mama Jane spoke so well, and then he has been able to do the needful. Saying say Obugu Savior Church, saying say the Kete Krache and those people of more honomo will have a good welfare and ubeti me abom. Producer, I'm coming next story in Indian common. I'm coming 9 minutes na me and edu me dey na me see and dey me di me time so pa time no so ya na ewi na asori na yakọ ye nche wa hanom e di juma no ewi ya na so na yakọ e baby. Yes, now producer for Canada Japan and yes for Canada Japan yeah picture na that so many anje. Yes, many anje. Now we didn't come be the actual say coming to the 2026 NPP be hoodie omo flag bearer race and I say omo Congress. Now they will vote and decide the person no betimi early the NPP to contest in the year 2028. Last month they be buying me more emphatic analysis. I was able to break down the necessary fact that you people should know when it comes to the elections and other things and I did justice to it. Now, so we'll check the structure of Kennedy Ohene Japan. The way so person Obuano projected this particular campaigner, I think that it has been very, very, very effective. Now, so we for near that now Kennedy Ohene Japan. Ena eda onsa nifasono. Ena onsa benkunso so no abrantie kama baako. Your friend no Charles Cornwell BCU. He was the parliamentary candidate for Esikado in Western region. In fact, Joe Gate at that time was the MP for Esikado. And Joe Gate, Edin Ejuma the people, the delegates, are no more Western region, Esikado constituency, voted for Charles BCU to become a PC or no betimi, a defended the legacy of Joe Gate, Monumba Wabo, Ewo. Esikado constituency. But lo and behold, in the 2024 election, NDC was able to snatch that seat from the NPP. At that time, Abranti Odasu Charles BCU was then the parliamentary candidate for the NPP at that time. In fact, that same Western region, Sawupo Bia with Mabono Homodin, Aye Jume Ye Diama NPP or Hodoma, it is Charles BCU. He has risen once to become the regional secretary for NPP within the Western region. So he knows the ins and outs, he knows the terrain, Western region. The delegates loved him. Apart from that, Sir Ocheke the Enyuma Waya, he was a presidential staffer in another Dankwe administration for the past 8 years. He was a presidential staffer in the office of another Dankwe Kufuado. It's Unimade. That's what I want to say. And in 2024 election, he served as intermediary campaign manager between Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and the grassroots. So he knows what he will try as much as possible to come on board. Now, Sao checking command media. Now he has been appointed as the campaign administrative manager for Honorable Ken Ohene Japan. He has been appointed as the campaign administrative manager for Kennedy Ohene Japan, which is very, very brilliant on that. And for now, in Komona Yedin said, this man has been appointed. And in Komona said, not say as a campaign manager, but then as a campaign administrative manager, of which it is very good for Kennedy Ohene Japan. Now, as a campaign manager, I know that the campaign manager will go to the ground and try as much as possible to put himself in a campaign, prompt himself, and making sure that he will be available for campaign and all sorts of strategies. A bit amount abwa ama Kennedy Ohene Japan every election. But I will check Charles BCU. Charles BCU wouldn't be a campaign manager, but then he will become a campaign administrative manager. So he will be at the office at times. Sometimes he will go onto the ground to support Kennedy Ohene Japan, but then he will become an administrative manager. Administrative manager, I'm making sure say he will bring in some of the administrative work, some of the administrative issues in the office of Kennedy Ohene Ejapon. So if you want to have one-on-one conversation with Kennedy Ohene Ejapon, it should pass through Charles Bisiu Cronwell. So he will be that elect man on Ubetimia survey as an intermediary between the campaign team and Kennedy Ohene Ejapon. And I know this man will do very well when it comes to all sorts of things. Now, so we move away from Kennedy Ohene Ejapon and appointment of Charles Cronwell Bisiu. Now, the NPP is trying to put up a unity campaign. Unity campaign in a sense, say oh share in Koma Koso Ewo or more parts ni moi. E come say the flag bearership race now cause a lot of division within the party. Where your campaign and internal wranglings, where your campaign or can win the way, no win so can win the actual way, or if they want to hold a unity campaign, of which the unity campaign will help them. So even after the flag bearership race election, it coming January 31st, they will come back, unite themselves together, and try as much as possible to move forward in the coming days of NPP, so that in 2028 election they can win and win convincingly for the NPP. So right now, our Kennedy Ohene Ejapon camp, Charles Cronwell Bisiu, yes, on the national NPP flag, no, patriotic guy, Kennedy. Ghana made it there. They say Annie. Now let me read some of the messages coming from and the conversation. No, in see ewo ahanom na. Yes, but reading some of the messages. It's me aflonte ewo ye page no so na bibia intimi enkoye. Now we co-mensa pillar. I say my NPP delegates. Let's vote for. We don't campaign. Also, my NPP delegates, let's vote for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia on number 3 of the ballot paper. Insha Allah, NPP will bounce back stronger. Special greetings to Hajia Safisa Mohammed, next NPP National Woman Organizer, hopeful. And Nana Ahinkan, aka Kade Golden Boy, by Co-Mensa Pillar 2. So Co-Mensa Pillar 2, Nyakopon Shao with your message at the back. Which is free sports paradise. Or say, politics is for the intellectuals. Wow. On why be must Maestro, when are we getting you guys on TV? NCB. Where's the free comfort and also a very educative show. Keep soaring higher, Maestro. Yes, me that's a power comfort. Yakopon Sha. Where's the free Joshua Esiedo? Good morning. Sumejo also good morning. Where's the free King Konyame? Also more fire. Yes. Ejano Guswa Dere Kama. And Mami Ridi Baku or say J Jumo Mess or say Maestro is on fire. Erade. Radia Bimdes and why deal. It's any other messages are Etimiaba currently as you patcho try sell auto message beba and sign up with the next 2 minutes no. Etimia sorry ama bibia etimi akoye. So this was your political horsey show, the Points Horsey show, and it has been intriguing. In fact, and the pan my show ne feel because and the my yembe content number is so paper my time now so maybe I can one may pay be crap put the actual producer and also the also or the we've actually spoken about choir Mama Jane Etimi Faso Echo Lake Voter Echo Plizzy the victims 16 people ebusia omu Etimi Ahiro Monkwa Ewo Kiti Krache Impeswa. So and of course we've spoken about Kennedy Ohene Ejapon, how he has been able to appoint Charles Bisiu Cronwell as his administrative campaign manager for the 2026 31st January election at Edanenima or say Odi Serjumane. And of course once again we spoke so well about some of the rising issues at Eba or say SCB entry, gifty or Warren Mensa issues at Eba Yakanwa Seminole, and also Ministry of Education, Mr. Haruna Idrusu. So also changing category A schools, building category B school with infrastructures and other category schools. Now we've been able to speak so well about it. Me and Jume Dewe Hu Chairman, you're from Big Brother GH, the Maestro. My name is Special Production Team, and it's now say Edi Juma. Emma Bibia etimi ekoyi my special producer Brand Power Success me need din comedy dumani ye ma bibia etimi koyi na wa check Emmanuel Labi our sound engineer or also ebo modern ma bibia etimi koyi Chidi Richard also boato to ma bibia koyi Nas bin Nas Utman Shetani yes Mamenchia Kumasi NSA boss Mamenchiano National Sports Authority. We National Service Authority. We National Sports Authority. Yes. Mamenchiano. Yes, Mamenchiano. Mommy, I'm going to shop. Nah, if you swear, if your office are doing committee. Your office are doing committee. Nah, producer. Fa o de fa Kennedy de to soma na mindi nkomobi ase nkomobi aba na mindi nkomobi aha ifriso na your fancy imagine me hey boys we wallahi Jabi boa Friday you better say have you din kobo bi
Kanewu na semfui Esye kanewu brother kanewu Kanewu na semfui Adiawu kasa ubewu wa kasa
all these things no ayeye no ebe boa ma efie bi mu kom eko
so ngudie a reset agenda no mudi aba
one key idea President John Dramani Mahama asaye ebinsi da the gold board.
What the hell man that is a snake or eating true anymore. Come to me casa check Ghana for my Ghana. Eh? You see, but just also in this way. Snake no eating true more.
In any serious jurisdiction, it could be a party being and I brought you with my original charm. And the original charm I know so what is called failure. Say be if we be failure, the classical definition of failure. I brought it.
company na sa kofa ban go the what as o company na we are gold early no want we are gold as we can no yeah be dia dey ni
yeah
so all these things no ayeye no ebe boa ma efie bi mu kom eko
so ngudie a reset agenda no mudi aba